The war with Earth didn't go so well, no. The old Cloud Talk veteran grumbled his answer and glanced around the classroom, searching for another student with a claw raised and a question less distressing. The students, however, responded to this non-answer by eagerly raising all their claws in unison. "So you want to know more?" the old warfighter said dejectedly, as the class thrummed with excitement. Kids today always wanting to hear about the humans, he thought. Before beginning the tale he had recounted countless times. The story of first contact with humans never lost its grip on young minds. The students fell silent, captivated, hissing quietly at each other at the slightest distraction. By all rights, the planet was ours, won through conquest, though it wasn't even a very important farming world, just a small temperate zone on an otherwise barren dust ball. It was known as Planet M. St. 3333, and beneath its surface lay a massive underground freshwater ocean. The water was pure, clean, and flowed up into rich soil, ideal for the harsh food crops of the Sindai race who had colonized the planet. The Cloud Talk discovered that the soil on this planet was also perfect for growing their beloved teal-like beverage, and so the Cloud Talk Emperor blessed the Sindai colonists' souls and ordered an attack. The assault was swift, thorough, and merciful. No undue suffering was inflicted upon those ordered to die. Their bodies were treated with respect and returned to the Sindai. What the Cloud Talk didn't know was that the Sindai had recently found and befriended the humans. Mere days after securing the planet, before the first of the equipment arrived to repurpose the fields, a human ship appeared, a single, massive vessel from the United Earth Marine Corps. Without warning, hundreds of smaller ships emerged from it, descending into the atmosphere. The old Cloud Talk and his battalion were tasked with guarding a key valley, protected by a defensive shield wall that supposedly stopped all weapons known to the galaxy. Then, a small human ship landed far across the valley, deploying 30 or 40 human Marines clad in armor. The Cloud Talk's weapons proved largely ineffective against the Marines' armor, as the humans advanced relentlessly, firing with deadly accuracy. 2 or 3 Marines would rush forward at a time, always advancing, never stopping. They were like an unstoppable wave of precision and death. By the time you could target one Marine, you'd already been exposed for too long. The old Cloud Talk had watched no fewer than 10 of his comrades fall, their heads exploding from the humans' kinetic projectiles. A full third of the Marines peeled off from the formation, using jump jets to ascend the side of the valley, gaining elevation and positioning themselves to flank the fortification. Then, they rained down hell upon the Cloud Talk's exposed side. The veteran and his comrades could do little but cower and hope not to be shot. The main body of the Marines roared loudly, their voices heard even over the cacophony of explosions, screaming assault through. And then they charged. The old Cloud Talk's eyes, already dim and distant, seemed to lose all focus as he fell silent, staring into nothingness. The silence was heavy, like a blanket draped over the classroom. The students dared not make a sound, anxiously waiting for what happened next. Suddenly, the veteran's eyes snapped back into focus, and he shook his head, as if returning to the present. "I had to do something," he continued. "I watched our commander's head explode, then the second in command, and then every leader of every platoon and squad. We were leaderless, and the humans were about to overwhelm us." He looked at the students almost pleadingly, trying to convey the desperation of that moment. "We were doomed," he sighed. "But I had heard of a concept among a new species, and I guessed correctly that these humans were that species. It was a wild, unthinkable concept: surrender." The word and concept felt foreign in his mouth. The students whispered excitedly among themselves, the idea as novel to them as it had been to him back then. "Yes, surrender," he repeated, as in deciding to stop fighting, to win by losing. "To this day it feels wrong, but I saved lives. I tore my own white uniform shirt off, tied it around my rifle, and told my best friend beside me about my plan. He thought I was insane, of course, and tried to stop me. But I jumped up above the fortified shield wall, into the flying bullets, and waved that white flag. He had heard that the humans would not shoot someone who was surrendering. The students chattered a bit louder this time, only to be silenced by a harsh glare from the veteran. All at once, the shooting stopped. The humans halted their advance as one, and it was over. I had won by losing, the veteran continued. I had saved the rest of the battalion's lives. A single human Marine stood up, walked calmly up to him, and simply said that he would accept their full, unconditional surrender. It took some time, but eventually they were all brought home safe and alive, victorious losers. The old Cloud Talk then took questions, describing how they were treated with respect and even friendliness by the human Marines. Their weapons were taken, they were each interviewed, and the Marines built quarters for them during the weeks of investigation that followed. The humans eventually returned the planet to the Sindai, helping them rebuild the farming colonies. One day, the Marines told the Cloud Talk they were going home, immediately put them on a ship, and took them to a Cloud Talk outpost. The Marines landed, left their weapons boxed up on the ground, ushered them out of the ship, and launched back into space without so much as a goodbye. The veteran answered more questions patiently, less gruffly, describing his return home to his mate and children, where they spent many weeks in near constant embraces, thankful to have survived. He fondly brushed his Medal of Valor, the highest award for bravery, given to him personally by the Emperor himself. We feared humans after that. He said for years our whole empire was terrified they would destroy us. They threatened to if we attacked their friends again, but we never did, so they never did. In fact, they established trade and wanted to become our friends. It wasn't until the Brickstick attacked one of our small farming planets that we truly became friends with the humans. The Brickstick killed our farmers, and so I did the bravest thing I could think of. I went to the humans myself. I braved their space alone, certain they would not kill me, because I had seen the mercy in their eyes firsthand. I went to them and asked for their help. They sent the Marines. They got our planet back, of course, and from then on they became our closest friends and allies. But that's a story for another day. The students chattered excitedly as the old Cloud Talk moved to the door and opened it, saying, "I have a surprise for you kids. This is Captain Johnson of the United Earth Marine Corps." With that, a massive human entered the classroom, balancing impossibly on only 2 legs, towering at twice the height of the tallest Cloud Talk. His uniform was breathtakingly perfect, his eyes twinkling with mirth, and in a booming voice he thundered out a friendly greeting with a smile and a wave. The students' chatter exploded in excitement, and the teacher fainted. And that the veteran concluded is why I joined the United Earth Marine Corps' drill instructor to be the first Cloud Talk Marine, because there is no greater friend and no worse enemy. The young Cloud Talk student, now grown and the first Cloud Talk Marine recruit, stood proudly in front of his rack, at attention, with the massive human Marine drill instructor towering over him. The DI stared him down for what felt like an eternity, then handed the recruit back his rifle and simply said, "Carry on, recruit." If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. For every comment that says we will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.